So this is the first fight of the Paramount Plus era. So what can fans expect? What are you excited for?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great card. Like you said, the main event is fun and title implications, and everybody wants the winner of this fight to fight Ilia Topuria. See how that plays out throughout the year, and then the Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes fight is the greatest women's fight of all time.
Jon Jones didn't hold back. He lashed out, calling Daniel Cormier a deckhead and an actor, publicly slamming his character. Jones claimed Cormier deliberately perpetuates their rivalry, choosing to be enemies for the rest of his life because of how lucrative it is. This wasn't just about fighting, it was a deeply personal attack, suggesting Cormier's on-screen persona is a carefully crafted facade. The tension Jones revealed isn't from his end, citing multiple failed attempts to make peace. He painted a picture of a man more concerned with maintaining a profitable feud than genuine reconciliation. The gloves are off, and Jones just unloaded a brutal assessment that rips through years of their heated history.
I obviously am not one of these fans, but some fans thought Arman should have been the one to get a 155 title pound shot.
We knew that would happen too.
Of course. Did the headbutt play any factor in the decision to 100%, not go with him? It did, right?
A lot of things have factored in, you know. Yeah.
The allegations didn't stop there. Jones pulled back the curtain on Cormier's behind-the-scenes behavior, describing a big kid who treated his staff like servants. "Go get me my water. Where's my dish?" Jones mimicked, exposing what he saw as a demanding, bossy attitude. He claimed Cormier brought 10 yes-men with him and was largely unsociable with other people on set when cameras weren't rolling. This paints a stark contrast to any public image of camaraderie, suggesting that the tension Jones spoke of was a constant reality away from the spotlight. These intimate details reveal a much darker side to their working relationship.
Get this one done.
I think I finish him wherever the fight goes, to be honest. Obviously, I know we can bang, but every fight we get a breakdown made of our opponent, and it actually shocks me how much he gets hit. And I know he takes one to give one, but you can't really just do that at this level. That's why he's lost to people like Eddie Alvarez, Dustin Poirier, Charles, because you can't just take one to give one. And I'm not going to just be standing there to let him hit me back. You know what I mean? So be using me range, keeping him on the outside, and I've got a feeling I'm going to knock him out, to be honest. I don't know what it is. I've just got a sneaky suspicion I'm going to knock him out. You know, I've been doing a lot of rounds with Luke Riley for this camp, and Luke's got much better technical striking than Justin Gaethje, and I'm having a lot of success sparring with Luke. And obviously one of my coaches, Ellis, who used to fight himself, he's the exact same build as Justin. He's 5'10" with a 70-inch reach, and I've been doing rounds with him. He's literally, because he doesn't fight anymore, lad, and he's just a coach, he's just done Justin's style for me. He hasn't got his own style. He's been doing Justin for me, and just the bits what we're working, I can see me knocking him out or dropping him and then submitting him. People are going on about his takedown defense, but if I want to take him down, I will take him down, lad. Simple as.
Despite Jones's efforts to bury the hatchet, Daniel Cormier has made it abundantly clear he still craves a physical showdown, specifically a pure wrestling match with Jones. Cormier boldly stated that such an encounter would be a wipe-off, heavily favoring him. He emphasized the distinct difference between MMA grappling and freestyle wrestling, believing his Olympic-level pedigree would expose Jones' weaknesses in that specific domain. Cormier's confidence is unwavering, predicting a swift end to any short freestyle bout, making it clear he sees a decisive victory in a wrestling-only scenario. The fire between them, it seems, burns just as fiercely for Cormier.
Gaethje, Paddy, what do you think it looks like?
Oh man, more skilled, more experienced. I think better fighter all around, Justin Gaethje. But I also have been on record and said that Paddy Pimblett is better than a lot of people think he is. You know, because of his, his haircut and the way he talks and some of the, the strength of schedule. People don't give him a lot of credit, but when I fought him in April in Miami, I'm not going to say that I was surprised, because I was expecting the best version of Paddy, but he's better than a lot of people give him credit for. He's got long reach, good kicks, pretty darn patient and composed in there. But Gaethje's a whole different animal. So if I had to bet, which I can't, but if I had to lean one direction, I'd go Justin Gaethje, interim champion, and then he beats Ilia Topuria later on this year.
Adding another layer of intrigue, Daniel Cormier himself revealed that he and Jon Jones seriously considered facing each other in a boxing match. This admission highlights the intense competitive drive that truly defines their relationship, transcending personal animosity. While their differences have been well documented, Cormier indicated that the desire to test themselves as fighters has always been undeniable. This willingness to step into a new arena, even for a boxing match, underscores a fundamental respect for each other's fighting capabilities, a competitive fire unique to their legendary rivalry. It hints at a layer of admiration beneath the public disdain.
Last time we spoke to you, you mentioned about Islam Makhachev and the GOAT list in terms of GOAT list, you know. After that, he dominantly scored a victory over Jake Della Maddalena. So after that one, where do you put him in the GOAT list?
I think Islam is definitely one of the greatest fighters of all time. He's one of the guys for sure.
Were you surprised that he dominated him?
No, I'm not surprised that he's dominating competition. He's a special athlete. I mean, some guys are just chosen to do great things, and I think he's one of those guys. I'm excited to watch the rest of his career. I think he has a lot of work to do, but he's on the right path, and he's just doing everything right. Yeah, he's one of the guys in the sports I respect very much.
Even more surprisingly, Islam Makhachev weighed in, believing Daniel Cormier could realistically challenge Jon Jones if it were a wrestling-only match. Makhachev acknowledged Jones's incredible athleticism, but stressed that pure wrestling, Cormier's specialty, would level the playing field. He highlighted Cormier's Olympic-level skills, creating a scenario where the matchup becomes far more even than under standard MMA rules. This endorsement from a top-tier fighter like Makhachev adds significant credibility to Cormier's bold claims, transforming what many might see as bravado into a genuine strategic possibility. It truly sparks debate over who would dominate in a pure grappling contest.
Кормье сказал, что с Джоном Джонсом поборолся бы и, цитирую, надрал бы ему задницу. Как ты думаешь, насколько вот, если эта борцовская схватка произошла бы все-таки, она, возможно, может произойти в Лиге РАФ, Кормье был бы успешен?
Ну, знаете, такое противостояние, где только в борьбе Кормье может потянуть Джон Джонсом, потому что Джон Джонс хорошо борется, но борьба это стихия Кормье, и это парень олимпийского уровня, это большой уровень.
Dana White himself emphatically declared the Jon Jones versus Daniel Cormier feud as the biggest rivalry of his entire career. He pointed to the unparalleled intensity both inside and outside the octagon as its defining characteristic. White vividly recalled a moment where tensions boiled over into a full-blown physical altercation in the MGM lobby, with Dave Schaller famously caught between the two enraged titans. This infamous incident perfectly encapsulates just how personal and explosively their feud has always been, making it a benchmark for all other rivalries in the sport's history. It's a testament to how deeply entrenched their animosity runs.
But then they're talking this 6-7 title fights. First and foremost, Henry, pardon my French, but who the fuck wants to watch 7 title fights back-to-back, to 5-round title fights back-to-back-to-back? What if the 4 or the 5 or the 6 in a row are boring? I think it's a bad idea. Bad idea, because first of all, we want to see contender fights. We want to see guys who are willing to go risk their lives out there. When you're the champion, your whole goal is to keep that. You want to be smart. You want to be tactical. You want to strategically retain your title. Champions aren't going out there to just go, yeah, we're going to throw caution to the wind and just swing for the fences like we're in a bar fight. That's not what champions do, because that's not what gets you to be a champion. You got to be smarter than everybody else. And listen, so this whole notion of let's put 6 title fights on there, I think that's a bad idea. And honestly, I might be asleep by round 3, by title fight 3. I might be asleep.
Curiously, despite its significance, Dana White was completely unaware of reports that Jon Jones and Daniel Cormier would be coaching against each other on the Russian season of The Ultimate Fighter. When informed, White expressed genuine surprise, even questioning if such a reality show was indeed happening. This oversight is striking given the magnitude of their rivalry and its potential for a high-profile showdown in a new format. It suggests a disconnect between the sport's biggest names and the promotion's international ventures, or perhaps a rapidly unfolding development that even the UFC president hadn't been fully briefed on. The unknown element adds to the mystique. Shifting gears, Paddy Pimblett unleashed a ferocious verbal assault on Arman Tsaroukian, holding absolutely nothing back. Pimblett blasted Tsaroukian for his behavior at the weigh-ins, specifically referencing the infamous headbutt incident, and condemned his last-minute fight withdrawals. In Pimblett's eyes, these actions unequivocally cost Tsaroukian any right to demand a title shot. He made it clear that Tsaroukian's conduct outside the octagon proved he wasn't worthy of contention, suggesting that such unprofessionalism disqualifies a fighter from the top ranks. This was a scathing critique, delivered with Pimblett's trademark bluntness and fierce conviction. And it turns out, Pimblett wasn't just spouting off. Dana White confirmed that Arman Tsaroukian's actions at the weigh-ins, particularly headbutting Dan Hooker, indeed had serious consequences for his career. White explicitly stated that the incident played a significant factor in why Tsaroukian didn't get a UFC title shot. This revelation sends a clear message. Behavior outside the octagon can impact a fighter's opportunities just as much, if not more, than their performance inside it. It's a stark reminder that professional conduct extends beyond the cage, directly influencing critical career advancements and title aspirations. Paddy Pimblett then turned his attention to a potential clash with Justin Gaethje. Speaking with undeniable confidence, he declared that he sees the fight ending decisively with a finish, refusing to believe it would go the distance. Pimblett acknowledged Gaethje's danger, but framed him as hittable, positioning himself as the one who can capitalize on those openings. He detailed his training, doing rounds with precise technical strikers like Luke Riley, and even sparring with a coach mimicking Gaethje's style. This meticulous preparation fuels his conviction that he will either knock Gaethje out, drop him, or submit him. Pimblett further explained his strategy against Gaethje, pinpointing a critical flaw: Gaethje's tendency to take one to give one. While acknowledging this works at certain levels, Pimblett asserted that at the elite level, you can't really just do that. He cited Gaethje's losses to Eddie Alvarez, Dustin Poirier, and Charles Oliveira as proof of this vulnerability. Paddy declared he wouldn't just be standing there to let him hit me back, vowing to utilize his range and keep Gaethje on the outside. He has a sneaky suspicion he's going to knock him out, driven by detailed tactical breakdowns. However, Michael Chandler sees things differently, picking Justin Gaethje as the favorite against Paddy Pimblett. Chandler, while praising Pimblett's skill, still views Gaethje as the more complete fighter. He admitted that many underestimate Paddy due to his appearance and early strength of schedule, but after fighting him, Chandler was expecting the best version and found him better than a lot of people give him credit for, noting his long reach, good kicks, and composure. Yet, he concluded, Gaethje is a whole different animal, leaning towards the interim champion in a hypothetical bet. The veteran offers a contrasting, grounded perspective. Chandler didn't stop there, making an even bolder prediction. He believes Justin Gaethje has what it takes to beat Ilia Topuria later this year. This highlights his immense confidence in Gaethje's overall abilities, not just against Pimblett, but against another top-tier contender. Such a prediction elevates Gaethje's standing, presenting him as a legitimate threat to anyone in the division. It also sets up a potential blockbuster fight should Gaethje become interim minion. Chandler's foresight adds significant weight to the lightweight title picture, suggesting unexpected twists in the championship race for the remainder of the year. Transitioning to the lightweight title picture, Dana White confirmed that the winner of Gaethje versus Pimblett is widely expected to face Ilia Topuria. However, White deliberately left the door open, suggesting that the ultimate matchup would take shape over the course of the year. This subtle nuance hints that while Topuria is the frontrunner, circumstances could shift or other compelling contenders might emerge. It creates an air of uncertainty and excitement, ensuring fans feign engaged as the division's narrative unfolds. The UFC boss is clearly keeping all options on the table for future blockbusters. Meanwhile, Jon Jones spoke with profound admiration when discussing Islam Makhachev, placing him in an elite category of fighters who truly stand apart. Jones framed Islam as someone chosen to do great things, built for dominance not just through skill but through an unwavering mindset and presence that shines every time he competes. From Jones's perspective, Makhachev's success was never a surprise, and he made it clear that watching his continued rise is something he genuinely respects and looks forward to. This high praise from a legendary figure like Jones validates Makhachev's exceptional talent and future potential. Daniel Cormier echoed similar sentiments, sharing a moment of deep pride as he watched Islam Makhachev become a two-division champion. This achievement finally hit a milestone Cormier once saw as the last piece of his own puzzle. He fondly recalled Islam pointing out that he had matched nearly all of Cormier's records, except for holding 2 titles, a circle now complete. For Cormier, the achievement is profoundly meaningful, reflecting the satisfaction of seeing someone he considers a brother rise even higher than himself. It's a testament to the powerful bonds forged through their shared dines and mentorship at AKA. Michael Morales hinted at several directions for his next fight, confirming talks are ongoing but nothing is decided yet. He suggested a fight with JDM makes sense for his current stage, offering a chance to keep improving. However, Morales also exuded confidence, stating he would readily accept an even bigger challenge if the UFC presented it, even mentioning Makhachev. This indicates a fighter hungry for progression, willing to take on significant tests. Morales' openness to various opponents keeps his future intriguing, showcasing both strategic thinking and a fearless attitude towards top-tier competition. The climb continues for this rising star. In a rather controversial take, Kamaru Usman expressed strong opposition to the idea of stacking 7 or 8 title fights on a single UFC card, calling it a recipe for disaster. He jokingly admitted that watching that many 5-round battles back-to-back would be utterly exhausting, suggesting he might even be asleep by the 3rd fight. Usman's reasoning centers on the difference between champions, who fight strategically to retain titles, and contenders, who are willing to risk their lives. He argues that too many champion bouts lead to cautious fights, diminishing excitement. This bold opinion challenges a potentially overambitious UFC strategy. Diego Lopes, gearing up for his rematch with Alexander Volkanovski, set a clear and aggressive tone. Fighting in Volkanovski's home territory, Lopes declared his plan is to end the fight by knockout or submission, leaving absolutely no doubt about the outcome. He stated, "I need to finish this fight. Like submission knockout is like a complex domination 5 rounds. This is my goal." This confident prediction demonstrates a heightened belief in his ability to not just win, but dominate, signaling a completely different mindset from their first encounter. Lopes is coming to make a statement, and a definitive finish is his only objective. Lopes reflected on his initial fight with Volkanovski, admitting a crucial mistake. He was too focused on landing a single knockout punch. In doing so, he confessed he forgot the best thing in my life: enjoy the moment. He described his overly serious demeanor entering the octagon, a stark contrast to his usual jovial self. Lopes believes that when he truly enjoys the moment, he becomes the most dangerous guy in the division. This newfound realization suggests a psychological shift, promising a more relaxed, free-flowing, and ultimately more dangerous version of Lopes in the rematch. To ensure he avoids past mistakes, Diego Lopes took no chances preparing for the Volkanovski rematch. Going to extraordinary lengths, he set up a private gym exclusively for himself and his team, eliminating all distractions. Lopes candidly admitted that ego got in the way during their first fight, and after realizing weaknesses in his initial training camp, he created this focused environment to sharpen every aspect of his game. This intense, isolated preparation underscores his commitment to leaving no stone unturned, signaling a complete overhaul of his approach to ensure peak performance and maximum focus. The dynamic between Jones and Cormier continues to be a central, almost mythical conflict in MMA. Jones's latest verbal onslaught, branding Cormier an actor driven by profit and painting him as a big kid behind the scenes, proves the personal animosity remains as raw as ever. Cormier, for his part, still yearns for a wrestling match, believing he would wipe out Jones, a sentiment even Islam Makhachev believes holds weight. This relentless back and forth, punctuated by Dana White's acknowledgement of their rivalry as the biggest, ensures their saga remains a gripping, unresolved chapter in fight history. From the raw, unfiltered animosity of Jones and Cormier, to the ambitious title implications for rising stars like Pimblett and Lopes, and even the strategic critiques of event stacking by Usman, this transcript lays bare the multifaceted nature of the fight game. It's a world where personal feuds bleed into professional opportunities, where past mistakes fuel future triumphs, and where every statement, every training camp, every challenge shapes not just individual careers, but the sport's very narrative. These aren't just fights, they are intensely human dramas unfolding in real time, constantly evolving and demanding our attention.